Well, I bought something new today. I bought the Kapex Cordless Compound Sliding Miter Saw. So this video is going to be me unboxing the saw and assembling what needs to be put together. So I've cut the bands, cut the tape, found the warranty card. I'm going to mail this in to make sure you get that warranty. So make sure you take the proper steps and get that registered. I'm excited about this saw because it's cordless. So I'm calling it the Go Anywhere cut lumber saw. No cords. Let's get it out of the box. I think it's going to slide out pretty easy once I cut all the tape and the bands. It looks like it's well packaged with the styrofoam and accessories. This is the dust bag. You don't have to hook it up to the vacuum. I mean, going cordless. You don't have a cordless vacuum where you can't reach an extension cord to hook the vacuum up to it, then this is an option. Bag. I have that same bag on the cordless track saw. I have a few reasons why I purchased the saw over the corded version. Number one was the ability to go anywhere. Number two was the price difference between the corded one and the cordless. This was quite a bit less money. I did buy it without the batteries, so I already had chargers and batteries, which later I did go back and buy an energy sustainer with the 4 batteries and a charger to charge 2 batteries at a time. So I'm taking the feet out. This is an angle finder, which you set up an angle and then it has lines and you find the halfway point. So it's a cool attachment, cool feature. There's a clamp to hold the wood down on the saw, which I've never really used before, but I know I'm going to use it on this one. You're doing something just for extra support to help hold things. It's kind of cool. Got the zip tie that's holding this all down for transportation. There's a plastic piece in the back so that it doesn't slide. But I think I'll hold on to that piece so that if I ever had to take it anywhere, that I could put that piece back on. So I'll keep that near, so if I have to travel, so the saw's not sliding around during transportation. I'll lock the saw down, tilt it back to get the styrofoam off. I even saved that too, just in case something that you had to ship it back for some reason. The warranty's 3 years, so maybe collapse the box and just save these pieces. It does take 2 18-volt batteries, so it works on 36 volts, but you can also use it with 1 battery if needed. So at the end of the day, if you only have a little bit of charge left, you can do it with 1. So we have 2 batteries, 18 volts each. I'm just going to plug them in there, attach them, see how it works. Slides in real easy. What I like about these batteries is they have the light indicator to tell you how much charge is left on them. So then they're brand new batteries. I did charge them. I think it's pretty fast. Once I left them on a half hour. There's some locking device for the extension wings for support when you're cutting things. And you can slide them out and lock in place. It's very smooth. Dangle finder. Fits on the back. Stores on the back. Just lays there. Doesn't really snap in or it's not held very well, just laying there, but it does have a spot where it gets it out of the way. So you keep it, you don't lose it. That's the main thing. You don't want to lose it. It does turn to 60 degrees on each side. This package has some plastic feet that lift the saw up a little bit higher, and the set screws and the Allen wrench to attach those. And it also has a knob with a bolt going through it with a spring, which is for the front. It's like a kickstand, a support so that the saw doesn't tip. And it's a longer bolt, so if you put the feet on, you take the one that's already attached on there off and put the one with the longer threads on there to help support the saw in the front. Just lock it in. Slide it so it doesn't slide anymore. And then tip this back and then figure out how these feet fit on. So the foot has a hole, an obvious place where you can see that there's a bolt that goes through it, and it's a hex head, socket head, Allen wrench type bolt that threads into it. There's a threaded insert in the plastic foot. So I'm going to just put that on all 4 pieces. And what's nice about this, there's also holes that if you ever wanted to go back and screw the saw down to a surface, which I'm going to make a workstation that I'm going to screw this down to. I'm going to get a piece of plywood and put a table to the left and right to help support the wood so it's even with the chop saw. So I'm going to put like 48 inches to the left, 20 inches to the right, and I'll put the saw in between those two, and my piece of plywood's going to be 20 inches deep and 96 inches wide. And this way, if I ever wanted to take the saw on a job site or somewhere to cut molding, I'll have some support on each side. Also going to put a T-track flip down stop in there with a tape measure on it so I can go up to 48 inches on the job site. Looking in the manual to try to figure out, did I put the foot on there right? But the foot was real obvious how it went on there, so there's nothing really to read on that. That it kind of snaps into place. You put the bolt through it and use the Allen wrench to tighten it. So we do this on the front side and the back side. It does push the saw up a little bit higher. You don't have to put them on there. I decided since I just got the saw, might as well put them on. Actually pretty quick, pretty simple. The installation or the setup of the saw. The blade's already on it. The batteries didn't come with this version of the miter saw that I bought. You can buy it with the batteries, where it comes with the charger for 2 batteries and 2 batteries. There's I think about $300 more for that version. Being I already had batteries, I decided to buy the version without the batteries. But like I said earlier, I did go back and buy a set of 4 batteries just in case. Never waiting for something to charge when I want to use it, being I have the Kapex and a couple drills, so it's nice to have some extra batteries. And buying the package with the extra batteries is a lot cheaper than if you bought them individually. Got the sustainer the batteries and the charger all separately. It is quite a savings in buying that energy package with them. Now I can lay the saw back down. Just tightening with the Allen wrench now that it's laying down. Make sure everything's tight. Don't over tighten, just snug them all up. They're not going anywhere. No plastic and inserts. You don't want to go crazy and tightening it. Run the backside, make sure those are in there. This is where I realized that there are different lengths on these bolts, being that with the plastic feet on there, that you need the longer thread for the kickstand support to reach the table. So you just unthread that. Let me show you the bolt. So the smaller one comes on it, works without the plastic feet. The longer one, they both have springs on them, and just set that up in there and turn that. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to tip this all back so that I can thread that in properly. You don't want to cross thread anything, so put that in there, adjust that. It's just so when all the weight's forward and the saw's forward that the saw doesn't try to tip at all. So it's actually a cool feature. I've never seen that on anyone else's miter saw. And to take the batteries off while I'm doing this. So as in using this, I'm really liking it. The blade it came with it, already attached on it. It's cut so clean, it slides back and forth nicely. I had the bag on there. I'll probably hook it up to the vacuum in the shop when I can. Very, very, very smooth. Put the batteries in, and you can actually bring the saw down without turning the saw on. There's a little button on the side you gotta push your thumb in to turn the saw, activate the blade. So put two batteries on, one on top, one on bottom, 36 volts. Make sure everything's tight. Did test it. Everything was square right out the box. I'll take that bag for the dust collection, put on there. After making the cutter too, it was amazing how much dust was in there. So it doesn't catch everything, but it did catch a majority of it. So if you're in a shop or environment or in someone's house, you're not getting dust everywhere. And it does cross cut up to 12 inches wide. And it does turn to 60 degrees to the left, 60 degrees to the right. So that's a lot further than most people's miter saws. And often that gets used. And usually you want to be able to go to 48, maybe a degree or two plus or minus. Plus. So at 60, it's going to be nice. Checking that out. I'm very much looking forward to this because you go on a job site, especially when the new construction, you have to find a power pole, and with the cordless and everything that has changed for the last 30 years, they're so much more powerful and the batteries last so much longer. This was my test piece. Piece of time. but very impressive how clean it cut, how smooth this all operates. I've had a job that I purchased this for because I didn't have a sliding compound miter. I haven't had one for about 15 years, being that I've had the track saw, panel saw, miter saw, the crosscut sled on the table saw. I had different ways of cutting things, but being that I'm doing this job that has a whole bunch of crosscuts that are bigger than what my DeWalt miter saw does, little crosscut up to 8 inches. It's not a sliding compound miter, so that this will cut up to 12, and that's going to cover most of the projects I need to do. If I have something bigger, then I can obviously cut it on my crosscut sled, or my panel saw, or my table saw. And lots of options, track saw. So just for the repetitive stuff, this is going to be quite a bit quicker. And I'm now discovering, oh, it's got that trenching mode in it. So if you need to cut a rabbet in a piece of wood and cut all the way through it, it does have that mode in it. So I'll have to learn how to adjust that. So right now I'm getting it. And the saw's not going all the way down, but there's a micro adjustment in that, so you can change the depth on that. Same as the big Kapex has. So that is a nice feature to have on a miter saw. So far, I'm excited about the saw. Hopefully you like this type of video. If you like, please like, subscribe, get the notifications when we post a new video. Here I'm doing a miter cut. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and this might help you decide if you were to buy a cordless track saw. This is the Festool Kapex cordless. It does have a little smaller blade, but so far I like it. Thanks for watching.